Welcome to me pal and the first episode on my YouTube channel Erotic Scribbles, taking its name from the book Erotic Scribbles. And as an enticer, I shall be reading excerpts of the book to you. Off the bat, this is not suitable for children, young adults, or people of a low sexual disposition, including nuns and priests. Perhaps not priests with the current trends. But anyway, it's an adult book, adult site, adult contents. I will use all different classes of language. So if you're easily offended, you're on the wrong channel. And I bid you good day. But if you're a normal, heterosexual, bisexual, transsexual, or even alien sexual, welcome. I have written many books. I think you can see behind me there, that's an old two books. So spanning many different topics. Margot is like it's mid-17th century, about a gypsy woman and child whose special gifts and how they have to fight their way through church, politics and religion to try and succeed. Uno Barnes, detective story set in Dublin in the mid-70s. Quite engrossing, easy read. Erotic Scribbles, as you'll be getting a sample now, is basically sexual deviance. And I've actually written it not to insult anybody or encroach upon them, but just to expand our horizons, make us think of other things, let us see that there's different perceptions, and what is chocolate for one person is tripe for another. That's life. But I do believe if we open our mind up to everybody else's thoughts and feelings and emotions, we can only become stronger, healthier, more tolerant people. Now this book and all my other books, which I think are numbering 9 at the moment, they can be found in electronic copy on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, or any good outlets. If you want the hard copy, however, that is only available through my personal webpage, which is www.maurice.ie. IE stands for Ireland, in case you have not twigged on the accent. I am Irish, but I'm living in the States now a number of years on a visa. A legal visa, so Donald Trump, eyes off me please. America is truly a beautiful country. I actually really enjoy it here. It's so vast, there is so much entertainment. You only need money, of course. But no matter where you go, whatever hobby you have, there is a place for you here. There is a slot open. And the people themselves are very, very welcoming. I mean, take for example, alcohol is available just about everywhere and relatively cheap. What keeps me here for the initial years was motorcycles were so cheap compared to Europe, where we have 26 and 25% tariffs on all goods. So when I came here I was able to drive motorcycles, and I've travelled quite a bit of the east coast certainly, and a little bit further inland by motorcycles. Absolutely love it, as I enjoy a drink and a good story. Okay, off the bat, as I said, for adults. Here we go. The story I want to read for you today is Alice, R.I.P. Just give me a second to get the page. Okay, and here we go. Growing up white and of Irish descent in the sprawling tenements of Queens, my mother's best friend was a large, non-competitive Asian lady who spoke so slowly as to leave you waiting on her words to dribble from her tongue. Simply put, a conversation with Alice was a nightmare. She moved like she talked, and it didn't help that she lived on the 5th floor of a 9-story building where the stairs were non-compliant at 5 inches wide and the elevators were the marvels of ritzy city hotels. We lived on the 1st floor, and every Wednesday and Friday I was tasked to carry Alice shopping to our kitchen. I was innocent to the birds and bees when Alice first touched me. Perhaps she thought she was pleasing me because I certainly got a hard stick as she jerked on me more strong-handed than loving. She managed somehow to flip her big tits out over the top of her blouse, and to this day I don't know how she managed that with one hand. They were enormous. Her nipples were huge, her thumbs and her areoles darker than the surrounding skin. As she attended me, I watched them wide-eyed in amazement, with absolutely no idea what to do with them. We never spoke a word or made a sound. I would place the groceries on the kitchen counter, turn around, and she'd be on me undoing my pants. She jerked on my pecker like a machinist paid per garment. The first time it happened, I thought I'd done something terribly wrong, and she was trying to yank out my intestines. My eyes were golf balls of pain and pleasure combined. I would grip the countertop with both hands to steady myself. Upon my ejaculation, I would grip onto the countertop with both hands to steady myself until my eruption would come, splattering all across her clothes. She would immediately sweep me to one side with her imposing bulk on her way to the sink. First she would wash her hands, and then towel off her clothes. I would stand pants around my ankles watching silently and feeling humiliated and strange as any 12-year-old child might. It was perhaps 8 months later when we first had sex. She brought me to the sofa, hiked up her skirt and pulled me on top of her. She was so friggin' wet. I thought she had peed herself or was leaking. It ran down my legs between her legs, and I wiped it away with the side of my hand like a squeegee. Sex felt wonderfully good though. It was like a hot bath that tickled you at the same time. I remember she made a low slurping sound that seemed to hang and echo in her mouth, and I believe that was the first sounds either of us ever made. Her sounds made me think of dolphins riding the waves, and shortly after my ass started flapping to some involuntary rhythm of its own. I wasn't quite sure what was happening or why, but I definitely didn't want it to stop. When I came, it was amazing. My ass clenched watertight like a duck, and I quivered along the length of my spine like a tin of paint on a Home Depot mixer. When my penis started squirting like that, I wanted to scream the names of my favourite school teachers. My mother became suspicious some months later. A child should never relish his chores. She never challenged Alice or I, but soon after the errands petered out and Alice would just smile with her eyes as we occasionally met around the building. Alice died last month, at the grand old age of 91 years. She spent the last 7 years bedbound to the agonies of cancer in an old folks' home. It was a journey she never deserved. She never married, never had children, seldom had visitors, and to all intensive purposes lived the solitary life of a librarian. I feel worthless for not knowing she was in care. 7 years should never escape anybody. I feel as if I've abandoned a part of my own past. Alice was a lovely woman who saw the world slowly, without malice, and me as someone worthy of touching with pleasure. Alice, I throw you my kisses and invite others to contribute a prayer of good intentions. Goodbye, Alice, and God bless you. R.I.P. Alice, page 27, Erotic Scribbles. Available at the web page in hard copy or electronic copy from any of the major bookstores. I thank you for listening. And tell me, if I had been a little girl and a man, an elderly man, would that have made a significant difference? Or do you still think that a woman shouldn't have touched a child of 13 or 12? Was that socially wrong? Or do you think, like some men, the lucky little brat? Everybody has their own perceptions. But things happen through the course of life, through the interactions with one person and another. And not everything is going to be favourable to everybody all the time. As my mother used to say to me, you can only fool some of the people some of the time, but not all of the people all of the time. But if we open up and we accept that these things do happen, surely it makes us richer, more understanding. Again, thank you for visiting my YouTube channel Erotic Scribbles. Do come again.